Hi, I'm Jack from Above Bookkeeping, and with me today I've got Ben from Salisbury Accountants. It's rolling around to the end of the financial year again, Ben. June already. It's gone quick. What?
Sure has, Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. What advice would you have for business owners at the moment for getting ready for the new financial year and planning ahead?
Yeah, sure. Look, well, thanks, Jack. I guess obviously, challenging times, and certainly in terms of business owners and their plans for the year ahead, there'll be plenty that are, 4 months ago weren't necessarily going to be embarking down the route or process that they are now. But look, the reality is, if anything, it's really important now to make sure you've got a plan in place and you understand what your goals and targets are and how you're going to get there. So my advice is simply, start from the top, from the 30,000 foot view. What are your goals for the next 3 to 10 years? What does that look like? What do you want to achieve from a business point of view? But probably more importantly, where do you want to be in a personal point of view, and how does your business allow you to achieve that? And then break them down to smaller targets, progressively along the time frame, to use that, annoying term, chunk them down, which everyone thinks is, that's what the important people say. But the reality is you do need to break them down into smaller steps. And certainly, this is not a small process in the current market. What does that look like? Well, I probably encourage everyone to take a step back and think, okay, well, do a little bit of market analysis, understand what is going on. What do the customers want now? What will they want the next, moving forward? What are your competitors doing? And then probably have a think about what's worked during lockdown, during this, very strange period of time, other things that, you really want to try and implement going forward because, they're much more profitable, or it's much more, or, you see a path to be able to achieve your goals, potentially faster with a new business model. So define your actions, those small goals, and then set what you need for this goal. What are you trying for this year? Sorry, what are you trying to achieve? Break those down to individual action items, and then understand. Okay, right. Well, what are the timeframes around that, and what does it involve from a resource point of view? Once you've got that plan, look at the financial implications of these actions. Build yourself a forecast. Look at your profit and loss. Understand the cash flow. And then ask yourselves, well, what is and isn't achievable from a financial perspective, and what's the impact financially of some of these action items? And then repeat the process until you're comfortable that you've got a plan in place that feels like it is a stretch, but is achievable, and that you can track and monitor your performance against that. So I think in terms of, building that that forecast, you need to understand what's the best use of your time. Is it something that you can do? You're financially skilled to do that. That's great. Or should you be looking to, your partners like a notch above, or, your accounting firm to be able to assist you to do that?
That's some really good advice there, Ben. Yes, looking for that big, that longer term strategy. And then I always go to what's the next action. So chunk it down to next action to get to what you need to do today to achieve what you want to in 10 years' time. So really good advice there, Ben.
Yeah, sure, Jack. And I guess the other thing is, in reality, if you look at Mike Tyson's trainer, everyone's got a plan to get punched in the face. So, you've got to be nimble enough and flexible enough to be able to move quickly if required.
Yeah, that's so true. So true. And you never know when something gets thrown at us. Like 6 months ago, we would have never known that what we were dealing with the first part of this year. So
no, that's for sure.
Awesome. Look, thanks so much for your time today, Ben. Loved talking to you, and loved your words of wisdom.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks very much.
Cheers. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.